These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Mark Z via PDK Sudani. It says, we are proceeding in the wheel of reconstruction and construction despite the challenges facing us. Sudani says they are meeting and fulfilling their promises to the Iraqi people. Part of the wheel of reconstruction is the monetary reform and the white papers and making the dinar stronger and more valuable. Frank 26 says the lower denoms to me is the most top secret subject of the monetary reform of Iraq. The lower denoms and the new exchange rate that they have selected through the RV process. That to me is the most critical piece of information to release, and that should be released in the last seconds of the monetary reform. Guess Guru Fnunu Lu, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. A response to Pimpy's post, Iraq is important in an import country with, at this time, little to export except oil. To rebuild the country, they will have to import almost everything so they want a very strong currency so they could get much more for their dinar. If they were an export country, they would want a very cheap dinar, as is the case with Vietnam, who profits from a vigorous export business due to cheap dong. Militiaman says the Port of Pho is going to be absolutely insane when it comes to global expansion. How much revenue streams are going through from the Silk Road development into Europe. This is really exciting stuff. Why would all this be happening if Iraqis use going to be this punishment rate of 13.10 to the dollar? Why would al-Sudani be going to Davos trying to explain how his country is going to be the savior of the global financial system? All right, Hinig has an article quote, Vietnamese currency to appreciate despite Forex fluctuations. Quote, experts predict that recent fluctuations in foreign exchange rates are short-term, and the Vietnamese currency, the dong, will trend to appreciate again in the medium to long term, unquote. Pimpy says, stop falling for the crap that there's no way Iraq can get all these major projects they've listed in their budget unless they change the exchange rate. That's false. It's already accounted for. The budget is already created with the proper amount of money set aside for these projects. It's just done in Iraqi dinars with the current exchange rate. Frank 26, question, is the U.S. government placing a hold on currency revaluations to keep people from becoming wealthy? Frank says, no, our government has nothing to do with the monetary reform of the Central Bank of Iraq. We did everything possible to make them modern, and they are. But we can tell them, okay, go ahead and do it now. No, it's strictly their prerogative. Mark Zevia PDK says there is a lot of good news coming out of Iraq, lots of good group chatter. There's all kinds of exciting rumors. Samson has an article quote, more than 800 companies at Baghdad International Fair, an active Japanese presence, and solid international companies enhancing their presence in the local market, unquote. Walking Stick says the rate doesn't matter. You're going to trip over your own feet when it finally does float because you're going to be looking for a rate. Watch the growth of the dinar's value. All right, Pimpy says Iraq's minimum exchange rate needs to be, in order for them to be compliant with the IMF, take the SDR, $1.33 minus 2%. Iraq has to be at an exchange rate at a minimum in order to be in compliant with the IMF at $1.28. And Frank 26 says you're involved in this dinar investment. The next step is the most crucial. It's the most dangerous for you. I'm concerned for you. I wish you well. I've already prepared you. I've already told you what to do. And lastly, Bruce via Wiser Now says what we're finding now is that some of the sources we've had clammed up. They're under new NDAs. They've got gag orders. We don't get as much intel as we'd like. That's the bad side. The good side is it shows we're so close to this going because they don't want certain leaks to come out at certain portions of this exchange procedure and everything. They just want to have it quiet, and that's a good sign.